What's up everybody, it's me Eman from Eman's Movie Reviews, and today we're going to review Wonder Woman. Alright, let's get into a quick intro. Princess Diana is an Amazon woman on the island of Themyscira. When a pilot crashes on the island and talks about the outside conflicts of the world, she leaves home to fight the war and end all wars, discovering her full powers and becoming the hero known as Wonder Woman. Alright, let's get on to the good.
The good.
First and foremost, if there were any doubts about whether or not Gal Gadot could handle a lead role, those should be put to rest immediately. She was perfect in this role. She is Wonder Woman now, and that's no disrespect to Linda Carter. She did a wonderful job at portraying Wonder Woman throughout this entire film. The film shows how through different events and situations, Wonder Woman's motivations and mindset begin to develop over time. I also really like the Greek mythology in this. I just thought it was a really great way to introduce the fantasy element to this comic book movie universe. It was also really cool how they were able to kind of blur the lines between what was reality and mythology throughout the events of the film. One of the great highlights of this movie is seeing the Amazon women of Themyscira. Watching Princess Diana on the island, undergoing training and discovering her powers was a really great sight to see. It was also a very meaningful setting and way to demonstrate how she develops her sense of morality and duty. Another cool aspect of this movie is the fighting action. If you were like me, then during a lot of the intense fighting and the slow motion scenes, you'll probably start to think of the movie 300. Now I know they said that this movie is all director Patty Jenkins, but I'm sorry, I can't shake the feeling that producer Zack Snyder didn't leave his fingerprint on this movie. As far as the story or the plot, I really like the fact that it was a very straightforward origin story. We didn't get a convoluted story with all these different plots happening all at the same time. We do get a very nice surprising twist, but along with that, we also get some humorous moments that keep this movie from going too dark. Wonder Woman's social interactions, especially with the opposite gender, are probably one of the funnier moments throughout the film. Speaking of the opposite gender, Chris Pine, who plays Steve Trevor, I have to admit I was going in with low expectations for his character, but it was actually a lot deeper than I thought, and he pulled it off with a good amount of range. Okay, let's get to the bad.
The bad.
Okay, maybe it's because I've seen a ton of comic book movies over the years, but I have to kind of admit that the way the origin story was told, it was kind of predictable and a little redundant. Like some of the scenes where she is discovering her powers, they look very reminiscent to some other superhero movies that we've all seen before. Aside from that, I'd probably say that the pacing of the movie kind of dragged a little bit in different scenes, but it really wasn't like a major problem. I think for me personally, I just wanted to see more of Diana living on the island with the Amazons and really seeing more of their actual culture. Instead, we only get about maybe 15 to 20 minutes of it, and then we're rushed into the outside world and the war and all the things that are happening there. Again, to me, I just think that it was a missed opportunity to explore something very unique about Wonder Woman's origin that we really haven't seen on screen before. Now, getting to my biggest issue with this film, it's got to come down to the actual villain. Now, I won't go into too much detail because I really don't want to spoil the movie for you, but I will say that I think the villain could have been a lot better. Personally, I kind of wish that they would have cast a different actor to play the villain as well. The actor playing the villain just never really fit for me. When we finally get to the big showdown between Wonder Woman and the main villain, I started to think that I was watching some X-Men movie from 2006. It's just that some of the fighting and the CGI just looked a little cheesy towards the end of the film. One other thing that might be nitpicking, but the more I rack my brain about it, there was a certain reaction that happens to a character in the movie that never really gets explained very well. And I feel like it's a bit of a plot hole. But enough of that, let's get on to the reason.
The reason.
In my opinion, this movie is a little bit of a cookie cutter of a superhero film, but it's clear that it's pulling for a different demographic of viewers. I get the impression that this movie was not made for comic book movie lovers, because let's face it, we're going to go see these movies regardless, right? Instead, I really think that the movie Wonder Woman has the intention of trying to draw in new fans into the comic book movie genre, and obviously women of all ages. Now hold on, fellas. That doesn't mean that men can't enjoy this movie too. I certainly did. I just think that it's more of a matter of what this movie and the character of Wonder Woman represents. She was created to be a symbol of female empowerment and a feminist. And I don't mean like a male basher, I'm talking about in terms of gender equality. One thing that I realize is that there are going to be certain scenes in the film that are probably intentionally created to resonate with women more so than it may resonate with some men on average. I noticed this in my own screening when I had seen some women actually applauding and cheering during certain scenes. At the end of the day, whether you like this movie or not, one thing that cannot be denied is that Wonder Woman will carry an intangible quality that will resonate with fans one way or another. This movie will be a dream come true for some, and it will probably empower others. I think it's very safe to say that Wonder Woman is the best movie to date within the current DCEU. As a matter of fact, Wonder Woman is what Man of Steel wishes it could have been. Her character is way more relatable and developed than the current Superman that we have now. Like, if they killed her off instead of Superman, I'd actually care. Because I really didn't care when they killed Superman. I mean, did you? If I had to compare, I'd probably say that this movie is Captain America plus Thor plus Man of Steel. So when it comes to the rating for Wonder Woman, I've got to give it an 8 out of 10. It's absolutely worth watching in theaters. Oh, and parents, due to the wartime settings and all the violence that happens, I probably have to say that this movie is better suited for maybe ages 11 and up. But of course, use your own judgment. Well, that's all I got. Thank you for joining me once again. I always appreciate you guys viewing my videos. Are you excited to see Wonder Woman? If you have seen it, what were some of your favorite parts in the movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned because I will be doing a video for movietickets.com where I'm going to talk about the 5 actors that I think would be best suited to play the role of Shazam. Don't forget that if you ever want to stay connected with me, you can always do so on any one of my social media platforms. I've got more videos to do for you guys, and until next time, I'll see you later.